you know, and it's November, so it's gonna be kind of
Hot.
cold here.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about it, because I was like, I gotta wait for this, and I still gotta go do that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I know you said you wanted to talk to me about some stuff. I didn't realize you did insurance too, and
personal training. Like, my whole brand has always been encompassing, you know, health, wealth, happiness. You spoke to me at the gym about a couple of things, and you know, I always say or put it in perspective that, you know, whatever you do today is gonna have real impacts tomorrow, and it's really how a person thinks about stuff. Because you know, if you got a negative mindset, you're gonna produce more negative things into your life. A lot of people think that becoming wealthy is something that's by luck or by chance or, you know, by deeds. You know, becoming wealthy is a mindset, no different than building your body. You know, kind of like when we discussed last week, you know, we discussed more than last week, but you know, like when you was in high school, when you were sitting in class, writing on your pad, looking at a muscle magazine, and the teacher said, "What are you doing?" Yeah. And you say, "Well, you know, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a professional bodybuilder, right?" Yeah. No, I meant that. Yeah, I meant that too. Yeah. That's the thing. So now you're a professional bodybuilder. Yeah. It's almost like I kind of foreseen that image, you know, and I don't know if I spoke it into existence by my thoughts and the actions followed that or what, but I definitely knew. I didn't know how or when. But I just knew that I just had, you know how sometimes you have something put in you. Yeah. And you can't ignore it. You know, I know me and my father have a lot of different opinions and different thoughts and views on certain things. And you know, he may want me to go left and I may want to go right. And so he may want me to compromise and we go straight. You know, if I can't go his way, I can't go my way. Maybe we try to do a little bit of both. And it seems like that's kind of how we end up going. But I can't ignore certain things that's put in me. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, society itself, speaking in general, I think a lot of people ignore whatever that inner thing is inside you. And sometimes that inner thing is whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing or to get you to take a step to whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. And so for me in high school, I think it was just something that I really kind of just was like consumed the idea of. And I was just looking at pictures, but what I was doing was writing in my mind, you know, and my thought process of what I wanted to look like, essentially. And so then eventually, like, I was like obsessed with that. And so I think I started looking for ways of, well, what can I do? What steps can I take? Who can I get around to get me closer to this goal than I am now? You know. So you're right. I mean, that's crazy how I've been in high school 10 years now. That's crazy, but thinking about, you know, that was a dream and just a vision, really. And then here it is now. It's a reality. So, but when you said wealthy, do you mean wealthy as in like personal wealth, or do you mean wealthy as in like finances? Because a lot of times people say, well, what's your definition of wealthy technically? Well, wealth within itself it encompasses, you know, finances as well as well-being. You can have a bunch of money and still be cash flow broke, or you can have what some people would consider a little bit of money and be rich. It's really based on who you owe and how much debt you actually have. One of the things, one of the people that I've studied over a long period of time is really, you know, basically says that if you spend your money as fast as you get it, you will never build wealth. One of the big main things that people forget to do to themselves is pay themselves first. Because society is set up to tell you, pay your car, pay your house, pay everybody, pay this, pay that, and then you look at yourself last. Warren Buffett. A lot of people don't realize this, but if you ever went and looked at a picture of his house where he actually lives, he doesn't live in a mansion. He lives in a normal neighborhood. And he's one of the richest, wealthiest men on the planet. And I always that kind of made me go, what's different about this guy? So I started reading different things about him, documentaries and all types of stuff. Because one of my goals in life was, I always said I wanted to be extremely wealthy.
Yeah.
Not just based off of, my finances, but to be able to help other people to become wealthy. Especially in a society where everybody's being trained how to be poor.
That's true, though.
Because people are being trained how to be poor. The first thing a kid gets in our society, and I'm not knocking traditionalism and things like that, but a kid gets taught how to want things due to holidays and gifts that will not grow and have any value in the future. It's one thing. It's one thing if you gave a child something that could help them become better in an area of skill set. I'm not going to name those particular things, but it's another thing if you gave a child a gift that's actually going to grow into something that they will be able to use in their future life, which deals with money, which deals with finances. And so that's one of the last things a person gets taught is how to deal with their finances.
That's true. I mean, they don't even have stuff like that courses like that in school.
You can go.
At least not when I was in school. Like, we didn't talk about any of that stuff. And I feel like a lot of those classes that we took, I mean, I hate to say it, bullshit classes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff we took was just almost just busy work just to have some type of curriculum and say, okay, well, you had so many courses in this grade and you get promoted to the next one. Mm-hmm. But, like, how many of those skills and those classes am I going to use? Some of the classes I can't even remember. I mean, honestly, class I remember the most of that I think I use every day is like home ec. Talk, I'm just being honest, and that was probably the most beneficial class I've ever took. Mm-hmm. Taught me how to sew. Little stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like clean up, cook a little bit here and there. Like, they taught you how to wash clothes, iron, all kind of stuff you do at home, But people do that stuff every day, Mm-hmm. I actually use that every day, so that was a very beneficial class. But a lot of this other stuff, man, what do you really use on a daily basis unless you, in an actual field or a profession where you're dealing with numbers and accounting, maybe math, and maybe something, important, or you're actually a teacher, English teacher, English professor, math professor, something like that, that's different. Mm-hmm. But as far as the common person or the person as an entrepreneur, really, I guess you know a little bit of everything, but a lot of that stuff you really don't use. They don't teach you about money at all. I don't know why that is.
I think it's the education system, how it's actually set up. It's not set up to answer all the questions for us at the NRU. And that's where we had to start waking up. Because one thing about being an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur has a different mindset. An entrepreneur is a person who looks at normal society and say something's not right.
Yeah.
I don't have all the answers. I don't know. And then you start searching for people who may be able to teach you. And then it's kind of like learning art of Kung Fu. You learn a little bit from this person, and then you learn as much as you can from that master. Yeah. Then you have to go to another master, and you have to keep going. Yeah. And then one day, whenever you get to that epiphany moment to where now people are looking at you as the master, you go back to your teacher and be like, teacher, have you taught me everything that you know? And your teacher says, I've shown you the way. Because the way is the actual answer.
True.
Because nobody can tell JT how to do JT.
No, you're right.
So JT learns how to become the best JT. And what happens over time is other people then begin to follow JT, and you teach them, and then they go, well, I've learned from JT, then they go somewhere else learn. It's a reoccurring cycle. Home ec is interesting that you said that. That's survival skills.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of the things that would have been beneficial to students in school is to teach finances, because
I think I'd be a lot better.
They teach you how to deal with money. Yeah. They don't teach you how to balancing a checkbook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. None of that stuff.
Opening a bank account. What does it mean to have a savings? What is it for retirement? The truth is, when the average high school student, and you can go poll that are graduate from high school this year, not just this year, they're getting into debt. off the jump. There is no guarantee that they're going to have a job that's going to help them pay off this debt. But some will graduate and have a degree and be able to go work at somebody's company and get paid. Some will get a minimum salary, some will get a maximum salary based on their network, because it all comes back to network. And that's the beauty of, I would say, being an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you set your stage. You either become successful or you quit. Because quitting means that you just go back and get in line with everybody else that decided that they didn't want to do it, that they didn't want to help enough people. That's really all it is. They looked at it just for themselves. They didn't
just for the money.
A
lot of people ask me too, and I've heard, I got a few people that I watch on my YouTube and stuff too. And I've been doing a lot more reading like the last year or so than I ever had before. But a lot of people ask me, well, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? And so most people who want to be an entrepreneur, there's people who want to make a lot of money. You're just people who are greedy yourself and just want to be rich. I mean, essentially, that probably does have somewhat to do with it. I mean, of course you want to make the money. I mean, obviously why else would I leave a job, a 9 to 5, where I have a guaranteed salary to step out and try to do something on my own to make more? The money, obviously, that's the big elephant in the room no one wants to talk about. But it's there, But at the same time, I think it's a little more than that. Because if you go for something, I remember Bernie Mac, before he died, he was on Oprah. And he said, if you chase the money, you'll never really be successful. But if you chase the passion and chase your dream, your goal, the money will come, And so he was always like, my whole thing is, my goal is I want to be funny, I don't want to be the best black comedian, I want to be the best comedian, And he was like, that eventually the money came, but if I was just trying to make more money, then I'm not really being true to my craft. And so I think when people ask me that question, I struggle answering it, because if I say, yeah, the money obviously is a factor, but it's not. To me, more so is just really the freedom to do what you want when you want, being able to go travel when you want to. You and your wife, you and your girl, you and whoever, your family member, your mom, your dad, being able to help them out, being able to help your brother out. Your sister, just not having to confine to, I can't go on this trip because the boss man said I only got 2 days off. It's a 5-day trip, so I can't go. To me, that's where that comes into play. But at the same time, I feel like you have to have a skill and have something to offer. You just can't say, I want to be an entrepreneur. Well, what are you going to do?
You got to add value.
Yeah, I think find a problem, if you find a solution to that problem. Somebody once told me, I don't know if it was my father or somebody else, but if you fix other people's problems, you'll never be broke. And I think E.T. said that. Eric Thomas said that too. Like, if you're constantly fixing other people's problems, providing solutions for them, you always have a reason to be around. So if someone's always owing you, you'll never be broke. You know what I'm saying? So if someone always owes you something, owes you money, you'll never be broke. So I guess he was saying, like, create a need or necessity of some sort in some field, and then a lot of times from that point on, you'll become successful because you'll be doing something that you love to do. And so you're not really so caught up in the money right now. You're caught up in, like, I wanted to be the best bodybuilder I could. So yeah, essentially I want to be a pro, but my main goal is just focusing on getting better every show. Yeah. If I get better every show, eventually I'll win one. And then eventually I'll turn pro. And then eventually I'll climb the ranks. But if I'm just chasing like that pro card, I think a lot of people get caught up in that because they just want to chase that pro card, or they want to chase, I want to be an NBA player, or I want to make $1 million, I want whatever it is. You get caught up on that goal, and so you're not really focusing on what you need to do to get to that goal. You just focus on the goal. It's almost like one brick at a time instead of trying to build a whole house in one day. Put one brick down, the next day put another one down. And put that brick down as perfectly as you can. We'll still talk about that, and that's real. I think a lot of times you get caught up in the big goal and you lose sight on the importance. So like Warren Buffett lives in a normal house and drives a normal car. And obviously the money's not really why he's doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? And if it is, maybe him showing it, being flashy is not important. I don't know.
And there's nothing wrong with, to get back to one of the things you said earlier, because a lot of people, like you said, it's in the room. People want to make having money sound like it's something bad. No, it's actually a good thing.
I thought we taught that earlier.
Yeah, but that was wrong. That was wrong. That was wrong. That was wrong for us to be taught that way.
Because money's always a touchy subject.
Because guess what happens?
You know what I'm saying? Even now, like, who wants to get the bill? Oh, well, I don't, no one really wants to be the person to be like, oh, I got it. Or you kind of waiting on somebody else. Or it's just almost like the forbidden topic. But everything revolves around it, though. I mean, you go to school to get a good job to make good money. I mean, we're taught from at an early age. You go to school, you make good grades, you graduate, you go to college, you make good grades, you graduate, you get a good job, you make good money, you get a family, you get a good house, you have a nice car, you have a nice family, and then you repeat the cycle.
But one of the things another thing that you said that I'm going to touch on too is being relevant. How do you solve those problems? Because there's no new problems. There's just different people solving those old problems for people that don't know how to solve them today.
Yeah,
and
it's crazy
because and the wildest thing is that that's what unique about all of us. Because one of the things I try to explain to people all the time is that there's plenty out there for all of us. We ain't got to take from nobody. It's just that but a lot of times people go, "But that's mine. This is mine right here. This is mine." No, guess what? You got yours, but there's plenty for everybody. There's so many people in the world. There's so many people you can touch. There's so many people you can influence. And one of the things I'll touch on later, as we're discussing, is there's a formula to all of that, especially when that's built around money, because we have a formula to bodybuilding, right? And so which means we get coaches. They teach us that formula, that system. The only reason why people go to college is so that they can learn that formula and system that somebody couldn't teach them. There's some things from a abstract standpoint is the only way that you can learn is to go find people who walk that road. And which means to learn how to be an entrepreneur, you have to go find other entrepreneurs. You can't go find somebody who just worked in somebody's company, no matter how successful they were. They were not an entrepreneur. They worked at somebody else's company. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with people working in companies. Success has many different, outlays. And all of us are not going to follow that way. You're a different breed when you say, I'm going to live outside of the normal box. And it's okay. Because guess what? We need people going to the box too. But the thing is, the people going to the box are going to look for the people outside of the box for solutions.